Hey friend, a quick update for you. My website is officially live. I'm so excited. You can check it out at reneemat.com. And my name is spelled a little bit different, so people get hung up on it sometimes, but it's Renae. And I'll make sure the link is in the show notes in case you need to just click that and get to the website. But this website is where you're going to find all the things that I talk about here on the podcast. Plus, I've officially opened the wait list for my upcoming course. So, if you've been wanting some extra support to finally get those 5 foundational routines working for real life, you'll definitely want to get on that list so that you are the first to know when doors open. The new website is going to be your go to spot to learn more about me, check out those resources I mentioned on the podcast, and get that support if you're ready to create routines and systems that actually work for real life. So when you're done listening, head to reneemat.com, take a look around, pop your name on that wait list. I cannot wait for you to see it. Do you ever find that you need a little motivation boost to keep showing up for your workouts? We all struggle sometimes, so today I've got a little bit of a pep talk for you. I'm sharing 6 tips to help you shift your mindset so that you can consistently show up for your workouts even when you aren't feeling motivated. Are you ready to stop the chaos, the stress, the overwhelm that's filling your life? I'm Renae Matt, and together you and I are going to build simple routines that are going to change your life. When you put these habits into practice, you're going to be able to organize your life in a way where you can be there for your family, pay off your debt, save money, your house can stay organized, you don't have to stress about what's for dinner, and you still get time for yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the Routine Advantage Podcast. I am definitely one of those dorky people that really likes quotes and sayings and just those motivational little snippets that make you feel good or they speak to you. So I actually really like it when a quote or some sort of saying or encouragement is like pasted on the walls of the gym or is hanging up on the walls or is on your phone screen and things like that just to keep you going. But one of my favorites that I have come across is one I can't even remember the exact quote, so this is kind of funny that I'm bringing it up, but you'll know what I mean. It's something about saying it's not motivation, it's discipline. And this one always sticks with me because it is about discipline. Totally agree with that saying because when you are trying to show up for workouts or eating healthy or sticking to your plans and sticking to your goals and your dreams and your routines and your habits, anything that you are trying to achieve, we're not always going to feel motivated. And in fact, we are probably going to feel unmotivated more often than we're going to feel motivated. So we need to focus on the discipline and having a plan in place and sticking to our plan and building the habits that are going to support that plan in order for us to build the discipline to keep up with our goals instead of waiting for motivation to come. And I love this in all areas. Today, we're focusing specifically on workouts, but you can really take this whole concept and put it into any area of your life. Build the habits, build the routines, and build the discipline instead of waiting for the motivation to come because you might be waiting a really long time. So, what we want to do is we want to focus on these 6 tips that are going to help you build that discipline and consistently show up for your workouts. Now, number 1, to have a default movement. This is something small that you do daily. You can do it in the morning, you can do it in the afternoon, you can do it in the evening, you can do it whenever it works best for you. I would recommend that you try to do it in the morning just because it's easier to just get it done and have it done right away. And then if you do get busy throughout the day, you aren't missing it or skipping it. So if you can get it in the morning, I would recommend to do that, but it does not have to be long. You don't have to focus on your default movement being, a 30 or 60 minute movement routine. what you really want to do is focus on it being something that you can sustain and do every day. And this is what's going to help give you that consistency and then build the momentum and give you that energy boost as you go. And it will trickle down into everything else. So, having a default movement goal or a movement routine or a habit every day that you repeat daily is going to help with this. Now, could you switch this out? You could definitely switch it out. You could have just a time frame that you stick to. You could have a one type of exercise. So like for instance, I'll give you an example. My personal daily movement, my default daily movement is a walk outside. And I do this and I have committed to this because we have a dog and he needs to go out for his walks. So I take him out once a day and Tony takes him out once a day. And so he gets 2 walks a day because we both want to get walks and he needs to go for walks himself. So we take him out and I am committed to taking him every day. So do I take him sometimes in the evening and Tony and I swap? We do, but as a general rule, I am taking him in the morning, so I am able to commit to going for a walk every morning. And sometimes it's a little bit shorter. Like sometimes I'm only out, we go to the park and we do a big loop. So sometimes it's, 20 minutes. And then some days I'm out there for an hour. But I know even on the days where I am feeling super sluggish and tired and completely unmotivated, I have committed to taking him around so I can get outside for 20 minutes. And more often than not, by the time that 20 minutes is done, I am feeling more energized, I'm feeling good, and I'm feeling way better than when I started if I was feeling really tired. So, just committing to that walk, I know that even though I don't feel motivated to get out and do it, I've committed to it, I'm going to do it, and then I end up feeling so much better afterwards. So, this is what you're kind of looking at. So, whether it is a walk, whether it's on a treadmill in the house, maybe it is just a set of 20 squats or 10 push-ups. Like you can do whatever you want. Maybe it's 10 minutes of stretching. You can do whatever you want, whatever is going to feel good to you, whatever your goal is, but that is your default movement that you commit to daily. Try to get it done in the morning so you can just get it done and be done with it. But then you are committing to that, and that's going to help you continue feeling better and energized and having you stay consistent with something. Because then, if something goes wrong and you didn't do a bigger workout that you've been really trying to get in at the gym or anything like that, you know that you still got your default movement in and it's not a total loss in your eyes. So that is something that has been really helpful for me is committing to that default movement. Number 2, schedule your movement into your calendar. This one is huge. Your default movement can go into your calendar and any additional workouts. So, if you are wanting to get to the gym a night or two a week, or even 5 nights a week, you need to schedule that into your calendar. Otherwise, it is less likely to happen if it's not scheduled. We have to make time for the things that matter to us. Otherwise, something else will come up. That's just life. And it's a much harder to stay committed to our goals if we don't write it down and all of a sudden other things come up and then other things begin taking priority. Where if you put it into your calendar when something else comes up, it gives you that trigger in your mind to say, okay, what is more important? And then you can make that conscious decision on whether or not you are going to, skip the workout or reschedule the workout, or if you're going to say no to the other thing that has come up. So, getting it in your schedule is huge to stay committed. And if you are new to adding workouts into your week, don't go crazy. Like, start with your default movement, get really consistent with that, and then maybe build in 1 or 2 other workouts throughout the week. Get consistent with that, add a third if you want. Get consistent with that and just keep building on your progress rather than going from 0 to 60 all at once. Otherwise, you're gonna totally burn yourself out, and then you are not going to build the consistency. So we have to start small, and we have to build small habits into place to build that consistency, and then continue building on top of that and increasing what we're wanting to do, and that's how you can sustain it long term. Okay, tip number three, prepare what you can ahead of time. So, this looks like even the night before, set your workout clothes out, set out your shoes, pack your gym bag, portion out those protein shakes, choose which workout you're going to do ahead of time so that you're not doing it when the time comes. Those are all things that you can prepare ahead of time. And then having those prepared ahead of time means all you have to do is show up. It makes it so much easier. You're reducing all of the barriers that are in place to get to your workout. So if you can prepare ahead of time, all you need to do is show up, work out, and it's done. And you can enjoy your workout and you don't have to build up the motivation to try to get yourself off the couch and try to go do that gym workout or try to do that home workout or get outside for a walk. All you have to do is show up because you have done everything ahead of time that you need to do to set yourself up for success. Tip number four, find an accountability buddy if you can, but don't use that as an excuse. Going through a journey of working out and building up this goal of trying to reach a fitness goal or anything like that can be really fun when you have somebody else going through it with you. And it's easier to stay committed when you have somebody that you have to answer to if you didn't get that workout in. So it is really fun when you have an accountability buddy. But if you don't have an accountability buddy, that doesn't mean you can't do it. You can make a promise to yourself and keep the promise to yourself and be your own accountability buddy. So the other thing that you're looking at is even if you have an accountability buddy, like the hard part is if you have a good one, then it's great. But if you have an accountability buddy that slacks a lot and it makes it harder to stay committed to your goals because you're both kind of like, I don't really want to do it, that's also a way that it can kind of damage what you're doing and what you're trying to build because then it almost feels like a pass to just not work out that day. So it can be really hard with an accountability buddy and without an accountability buddy. So you really have to do this for yourself, but having an accountability buddy is fun. Like focus that part as the fun part, but the commitment is to yourself. So that even if something happens where that accountability buddy is making it really easy to skip your workouts or you don't have an accountability buddy to do this with, you can still do this on your own and stay committed to your goals. So you can do it, you can have one if you want, but don't use that as an excuse if you have a bad one or if you don't have one at all. And tip number five is don't focus on all or nothing. Like flip your mindset here. If you are trying to have a fitness goal, we really want to focus on doing what we can when we can and not thinking that we have to do it all or nothing matters. When you are looking at this, you really want to focus on continuing that default movement and use it to your advantage to build the consistency. And then when you want some of those other workouts built into your week, this is where you're going to do the consistency where it's the all or nothing generally, where if you have your default daily movement, that one gets easier over time. But then if you have, say you want to also go to the gym 4 days a week and all of a sudden things come up and your time gets shifted around and you can actually only get to the gym once that week because the kids are home or the timing just doesn't work when the gym is open or anything like that, you can still get your other 3 workouts done. You just might not be able to do them at the gym. So this is where you're looking at don't focus on all or nothing because you can just shift and adjust if you need to. So maybe it's you're doing a couple of workout videos at home or you are going for an extra walk or you're going to go for a bike ride instead. Get those workouts in even if they're not at the gym, you're still doing something. That one has made such a big difference for me because I am definitely somebody that just automatically goes to an all or nothing mindset. So, focusing on the default movement and doing that daily and then building in my additional workouts and adjusting and tweaking on the go if I need to has made all the difference because then I have stopped saying no as much to my workouts because it's like, okay, if I planned to do 5 miles one morning, but timing wasn't great or I'm feeling really tired, it's like, okay, maybe I can't do all 5 miles because of this particular situation today, but I can do 2 or I can do 1 or I can do 3. Like things like that. Like just because you might not be able to do the full thing you can still get the workout in. Or if you can't go to the gym, then do an extra walk or turn on a workout video off on YouTube. Like YouTube has tons of options for you to work at home with weights, without weights, like so many different options. So you could still get your workout in even if it's not exactly what you had planned. And then tip number 6, if it's not perfect, it's still okay. Just course correct and keep moving forward. And you might be thinking, well, this is really similar to tip number 5 of don't focus on all or nothing, but this one does need its own feature and its own item, tip number, because it is so important. Yes, we're not focusing on all or nothing, but when we're focusing on it not being perfect and still being okay, this is more of the mindset piece of it because this one can be so hard when we have been living our lives looking at that perfect vision of what we're trying to achieve. And if we don't follow it exactly, then we have screwed up for the whole week. So, this one, I have grown up just kind of doing the wrong side of this one. So, I have done it in the past where, say you're trying to not eat sweets and you are doing really great and you get to Wednesday and then all of a sudden you are really craving some chocolate. So you end up eating chocolate and then you feel so guilty about eating the chocolate that it's like, okay, well now I just screwed up. I was doing great. Now I just lost it and now I might as well just start again on Monday. And that's what we did growing up and what I have spent so many years trying to get out of my head that yeah, I have to just move on. Like that is something that happened and now I am just going to start over right after. And so this one definitely takes some mental intentionality to make sure that you are focusing on it being okay if it's not perfect. I have seen a lot of, like, videos online where, like, it's a reel or something where people are giving examples, and they're doing, like, these visual video examples of this mindset shift because they're actually pretty funny because they're so ridiculous, but it really makes you think because we really only apply this insane mindset to our health goals when we're trying to eat healthy and we're trying to stick to a fitness plan. This is where we have to make those changes. So some of these videos as examples are like, okay, somebody is cheating or like falling off the wagon. They're cheating on their diet. They're eating that chocolate on a Wednesday and they're giving up for the rest of the week and they're saying like this is the same as if we were to do these other ridiculous things. It's like if you are wearing a super dressy outfit and maybe it's like a white business suit and you're drinking a glass of wine and you spill a little dribble on your blazer. And if we were in our normal circumstances, we would be like, okay, well, now that needs to get dry cleaned and needs to get treated, and we'll just move on from there. But if we apply the same concept to what we do to ourselves, it's like, well, let's just give up. So then that person, they look at the spot on their blazer and then they just dump their whole glass right onto their blazer. So it's like just ridiculous things because if you mess up a little bit, then you might as well just mess up the whole way. And it's like that's what we do when we are trying to be healthier. And it doesn't apply to anything else. Like, it's just so weird why we do this to ourselves. Another one might be if you are, like, pouring laundry detergent in the washing machine, and instead of filling the cup and you accidentally pour over the cup. And then because you accidentally poured over the cup, then you just dump your entire container of laundry detergent in because you made that little mistake. So now that you made the mistake, you might as well just do it all the way. So it's things like that that, like I said, they're so ridiculous, but then you really think about it and it's like, well, that is what we're doing when it comes to our mindset in health. So we really need to shift this. And that's why I was like, this one definitely needs its own tip. It needs its own number because we need to know and we need to understand that if it's not perfect, it's still okay. And we don't need to throw out the rest of our goals just because we made a mistake. And you almost need to expect those mistakes. We need to know that life is not perfect. We are not going to be perfect. But every time we make a mistake, if we're just going to give up, we're going to be constantly restarting. So we need to make sure that even though we are making mistakes on our journey, we should expect those mistakes, but know how to get back on track. Because in some cases, maybe it's not a mistake. Maybe in some cases, we're like, that is a conscious decision. I am going to decide to, you know, treat myself with this, or I'm going to decide to change my workout, or I'm going to decide to skip my workout tonight because I feel like that is the best thing for me. I know I need my rest. I know I need to take some time with my family and spend time on, some mental health. And then tomorrow, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go for that morning walk because that is what is going to be best for me. And when I started making these changes, it made such a big difference. So if you're struggling with this, think about doing it this way. Think about making these changes and trying to shift your mindset and how you view some of these things because it can make all the difference. And then you're eventually going to hit a point where you never have to restart because you never actually gave up. And that is what we're trying to achieve here. We're trying to build the consistency that even though it might not be perfect, it's still going to be okay because we never actually give up on what we're trying to do. We might tweak and we might make adjustments, but we're going to keep going and we're going to build that consistency that is going to carry us over the years to come. So those are the 6 tips. I will recap those for you in case you want to really hammer those into your head, but we're going to go through and recap those now. So 6 tips to consistently show up for your workouts to build that discipline instead of waiting for your motivation is number 1, have a default movement goal, something small that you are doing daily. Number 2, schedule your movement into your calendar because if it's not scheduled, it is less likely to actually happen. Number 3, prepare as much as you can ahead of time. So all you have to do is show up. Number 4, find an accountability buddy if you want, but don't use that as an excuse. Number 5, don't focus on all or nothing. You can make tweaks and adjustments if you need to, but you don't have to give it up. And number 6, if it's not perfect, it's okay. Just course correct and keep moving forward. Did you love that episode or learn something useful? If so, would you do me a huge favor? My goal is to grow this podcast and help as many women as I can break free from the overwhelm so they can truly enjoy their life. The best way for me to do this is for you to leave a 5-star written review on your podcast app and to share this episode with a friend or in your Instagram stories. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful day and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.